Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the words of the CHOFETZ CHAIM, speaking about when you are able to say, you're allowed to say Lashon Hara, something that would seem to be Lashon Hara, but because there is a Toeles, there is a benefit for the words to be said, for the information to be given over to other people, you are allowed to say these disparaging remarks because of the benefits others will receive. Now, says the CHOFETZ CHAIM, there are 7 rules of Toeles that must be fulfilled in order to be able to claim that the words that you're saying are going to be beneficial for others. Says the CHOFETZ CHAIM, Ve'elohein, and these are the 7 conditions that must be met before Ruvain is allowed to go and publicize the misdoings of Shimon that he saw. Number 1. Aleph, Reuven had to see this, personally witness it with his own eyes. Not that he just heard about it from others. Unless it became clear to him after that he heard from others that it's factual information over here. So if there's circumstantial evidence that he heard that prove that what he heard from other people is true, then even in that case he could say it. Beis, the second thing, first of all, Reuven has to be careful not to be impulsive and decide right away, Shimon is guilty. Whether he stole or he did fraud or he damaged somebody, he has to look into it deeply to make sure. To make sure that it's really gezel, it's really stealing, or its damages, al pidin, according to the halacha, that's the way that it is. So he has to make sure and analyze and go through the situation. First of all, to see that that's really what took place, and secondly, to make sure that according to halacha, it comes out that he's guilty. Number 3, Gimel. First, Reuven has to go to the offender, Shimon over here, and he has to give him rebuke in a gentle tone. He has to rebuke him and tell him, what are you doing? You're hurting people. Maybe this reprimand will end up having a positive effect on Shimon, and he'll do tshuva. He'll end up bettering his ways. However, if Shimon doesn't listen to the rebuke that Reuven is giving him, then Reuven is allowed to inform the public about Shimon's sin. How he ended up causing damages purposely to his friend. If Reuven knows that Shimon will not accept his rebuke from the beginning, we're going to explain that later on. Number 4, Dalid. When Reuven is telling over the sin that Shimon did, he cannot exaggerate beyond what it was. You have to say it exactly how it is. And this is something CHOFETZ CHAIM has spoken about before. Very often when we relay information, the nature of a person is to be a magazin, they exaggerate things. You could run into great problems over there, and therefore be careful, don't exaggerate a word. 5, Reuven has to intend that the reason he's telling over about the misbehavior and misdeeds of Shimon is for Toeles, for constructive purpose. Like we're going to explain later. And not because, God forbid, he has in mind, he wants to get pleasure from pointing out the flaws in his friend. Or because he already hates, let's say that Reuven hates Shimon from previously, and how he's going to get him back. Chas v'shalom, you cannot do that. Number 6, if Reuven could achieve the same benefit by doing something else, without having to say Lashon Hara about Shimon, also the Sabbath, then it is also, you're not allowed to say over the Lashon Hara. If you would find another avenue of helping rectify the situation, you have to do that first. And 7th, Zayin, Reuven, when he's reporting Shimon's damages to Levi, he cannot cause Shimon to suffer a monetary loss. More than what the halach would obligate him to pay. For example, if they would have testified in a bezdin about Shimon that he caused damages to Levi, and the explanation of this, we'll see that later in Kasham, over there is going to be the particular place where we learn about this. So it says the CHOFETZ Chaim, these are the 7 categories of Toeles that must be met. It's worthwhile to review them on a constant basis because you'll never know if you're actually allowed to say over these words unless you're fulfilling all of the 7 claims, the 7 obligations and conditions over here. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Yom Tov. Remember, the Yom Tov table is a hotbed for Lashon Hara. There's a lot of people around, people we haven't seen in a while. There's long meals, and the meals, you're getting bored and tired after a while. The same thing, and naturally conversation drifts and starts talking about people and other people. Be so careful. It's the day that we're being judged on how much shaykhis, how much connection we have to the Torah, how much we love the Torah, how much we embrace the Torah. Lashon Hara is a big part of a Jew who believes in Torah, lives Torah life, and therefore we shall Kodesh Baruch Hu that we're careful and not to speak words of Lashon Hara. We're more familiar with the halachas now that we've been learning. So Be'ez Hashem, that'll be a schus to allow the Torah to go deeper and deeper inside of us on this glorious Yom Tov of Shavuos. Have a wonderful day.